So the first thing today, before I even say hello, is that the right way around? I think I might have got that the right way around. Let me know. Hi everyone. Welcome, episode 5. Episode 5, halfway. I know, I can hardly believe it myself. How are you? How is everyone? Welcome. Hi, if you're new here, welcome to the show. Welcome to Monday nights. You've got it the right way. Thanks, Jake. I know it's only taken me the 15 episodes to get it the right way around. But you know, we do what we can, don't we? So, Javi era, I'm okay. Thank you. Yeah. Weird. Hi, Jack. I had a better Monday. So what are you going to do? I thought it was Monday that was the problem. Hottie. Thanks, Alex. It's obviously not Monday. It's just, general. So it is what it is. Right. So hi, Monday Night Crew. You're very welcome. If you're new here, you're welcome. Tonight I've poured myself a snifter of port. It actually genuinely is a snifter now because I've been sipping away because I'm nervous. Do it again. Very festive. I feel like I've seen people putting up like Christmas lights and Christmas trees and, oh, that was scary. Christmas lights and stuff, and I think it's just people want to get festive, really, don't they? It's just that time of year where it's got to November and we're like grim. So anyway, that was my reason for the port. Also, congratulations quickly to my husband Jamie and the whole team at Jumpstart Productions, because our little film has been nominated, longlisted for a Discovery Award by the British Independent Film Awards, and it was supposed to premiere. This film is called Justine. It was supposed to premiere at the BFI Flair Festival, which just happened to coincide with the beginning of lockdown. So to have this long listing at the end of the year is amazing. So congratulations to the whole team. Cheers to you. Oh God, lovely. Blech. I need to drink that cheers now. Hold on. I've just seen Evanna pop up in the old chat. Here she is. Oh, she's in the waiting room. Cool. So great. Congratulations to them. On to today's guest. You would think that after 15 episodes, I would be less nervous, the imposter syndrome would be gone. But no, today it's probably worse, actually, because I just can't ever get my head around people saying yes to being on this show and to being here with us on a Monday, and they do. So I'm just going to introduce my guest and get her on and start this chat. And of course, this is a chat with a real person about their life. There may be triggering conversation, so please use your discretion and be respectful. If you are a prick, I will block you. Straight facts. So, my guest tonight, everyone, is Evanna Lynch. Evanna is an actress, an entrepreneur, vegan activist, cat mother, podcaster, writer, and, as the multitudes of comments I've received this week have indicated, an idol to many of you watching. And it strikes me from my research and chats with mutual friends that she stands as someone known for her character in the Harry Potter movie franchise, but also as someone who has managed to balance the weight of that identity with growing up and being comfortable with who she is now. Evanna began her career, of course, as the quirky Luna Lovegood in the last 4 Harry Potter films. After Potter, Evanna continued her acting career, adding small appearances to her growing repertoire and making interesting film choices, such as Mackenzie Price in GBF, Teresa Bornstein in Addiction, a 60s love story, and the title role of Emily in Irish indie My Name is Emily. She threw theatre work into the mix, with performances in Enda Walsh's Disco Pigs, which took her from London to Off-Broadway in New York, The Omission of the Family Coleman, presented by the Ustinov Studio in the Theatre Royal Bath, and Games for Lovers at the Vaults. And tonight, she's giving me the time of day. Evanna uses her platform for discussing veganism and animal rights, and she's been involved in many non-profit campaigns, and in the last 3 years has launched both a vegan-themed podcast called Chick Peeps and the cruelty-free cosmetics subscription service Kinder, am I German? Kinder Beauty Box. And she's here tonight. Can you believe it? So, invite to episode 5 of Are You Michelle from Skins? Evanna Lynch, everyone.
Hi!
Here she is.
What
That worked.
Thanks, April.
You're welcome.
I'm shy now.
I mean, the thing is, I always have to do it before the guest comes on, because otherwise they get a bit like, oh God. Although I did accidentally invite someone in too early, and then they just had to sit there awkwardly while I was announcing them. I was like, oh no.
I know. We have that on, because on our podcast, the Chick Peeps, I just hate doing that. I just don't do it anymore. I'm like, I'll do it before, because it's so awkward having someone just sit there and they're like, and if they send you a long bio, you have to read it, and you're like, oh, here's all your great achievements, here's your life story. Yeah. Well,
thank God you sent me this one a while ago, because it gave me a chance to
No, God. I was like, oh, no.
You were like, I was blowing my own trumpet for a second there. No, I made this one out of my own brain, and also just being so overwhelmed with researching you and having so many people send questions all week and things that they want to know about you. I was just like, you have been busy, really busy.
That's nice. I'm always paranoid that like nobody's going to, that's why I was a bit hesitant to share the stories. I'm like, what if nobody has any questions? Because I do quite a lot of interviews. I'm like, oh, I don't know if people are just sick of hearing from me. Should I just quietly go away? So that's nice.
I mean, well, no, I feel like I'm the same, and also particularly when I'm doing this series, I'm like, do people really care anymore? But actually, as it turns out, and actually with all of my guests, there is a lot of love for people out there. There's a lot of, especially for someone who is associated with such an iconic franchise, there's a lot of love for you as part of that, but also for you as a person. Like, there are some good questions, so you wait.
Nice.
Don't be like that. Also, I feel like I always get a bit stressed because I know personally I've answered the same question a lot of times. So I'm like, what can I do to think of ways to ask Evanna a different question? But actually, some of these may seem a little bit familiar, and sometimes that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely, get them out of the way.
I mean, I'm going to wait till the end, actually, because the point of this is to find out what it's like now. You know, now being, how many years on are we from the last Potter film?
From Potter, oh God, 2011, I think it came out in. So almost 10 years since it ended. Yeah. It's a lot of anniversaries. I feel like every week there's another, oh, it's been 20 years since the first one, and this and that. So
sorry, it's been 20 years since the first one?
Yes, it has. Yeah. No, wait, hold on.
Hold on a minute.
No,
please don't tell me that.
There are so many anniversaries. I think it's been 14 years. Yes.
Okay.
No, 19 years. I'm not very good at
someone's going to tell us in a minute. How many years has it been since the first Potter film? Help. God, well, that's... Sure it's
19, because Tom Felton just did a thing the other day, 19 years later, after the first film came out in the US. So yes, we are officially old.
Wow. I don't know where to go from here, to be honest. That's kind of like, you know, although to be fair, we're not as old as some people. So there's always people that are older, right? And what a joy to be growing up and to be aging. There's that. 19. See, thanks, Jess. Thanks, India. 19. Good. So as I said, I always ask people for questions, because I do think it just gives us a really nice jumping off point, and also people love to, you know, be known to you and to me. So I like doing that. So I think we're going to start with a question from Paula Chula, who says, and this is quite a hard one to just throw at you straight away, but how would you describe your life right now to your 15-year-old self?
Oh my God.
I know.
How would I describe my life?
I guess also to your 15-year-old self being someone, I imagine, because I'm talking about myself at 15, as kind of like someone who has no idea really what they are going to end up doing, maybe?
Yeah, I was pretty I mean, I was pretty certain because I joined Potter when I was 14. So I was like, I really liked being in this industry. I liked being in the entertainment industry. So I didn't really know where it would go, but I've always been like definitely the arts, and I still feel that way. But I would probably tell my 15-year-old self that's a lot more eclectic than I imagined, because I think for a while I was just like just acting, and I have a different view on that now. I really think that if you're in the arts, you're kind of an artist, and you shouldn't confine yourself to one way of expressing yourself. Um, yeah, and you know, if it goes that way for some people, great, but it I find myself doing lots of different things, and I quite like that as long as it's sort of storytelling. um and I'd probably warn her about all the veganism because it's like a lot of my life now and a lot of my work. So I'd probably be like, you know, get ready, just like read a lot of vegan books and stuff, because it really is a lot of my work. And I think it's important to be well read on these aspects because a lot of people don't understand it. So yeah, I'd probably warn her about that. But I don't know. I was very stubborn
That's
as well. Whenever
amazing though. I
people
love
say,
that. I love that. Sorry to interrupt you, but I love the idea of being a creative person doesn't mean that you necessarily have to express that by being an actor. And also kind
yeah,
of take some of the pressure of like, why am I not a megastar like the rest of my
yeah,
friends? You
I
know?
know. I really don't like that. I resent that idea in the acting industry that you have to make it, you know, because I think finding perfect roles is almost as hard as finding a perfect mate, really. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but I just I
Would
think
you say it's finding the role or being gifted it?
um I think it's a lot of luck for one,
Yeah.
definitely. But I do also think, yeah, it's about like an energetic you kind of calling in those right roles and those right souls to sort of bring into the world. So it's such a wacky way of putting it, but it is how I see it now.
That's
But
totally
yeah,
true. I mean, I experienced that exact thing because I went to the flower stand the other day because I wanted a bunch of sunflowers because we're selling our flat and apparently sunflowers are the one. And I walked up to the flower stand and they were just right there, bunch of sunflowers.
oh yeah, you call them in. Yeah,
So
really
this
cool.
whole time I should have been calling in, playing the queen and the
Yeah.
crown. I
Yeah.
just
Do you
didn't.
find that also happens with words when you learn a cool new word, suddenly everyone says it?
Yes.
Mhm.
Or I just say it
Okay.
repeatedly because I'm like, I've got a cool
Yes.
new
Yeah.
word.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
um, so IR Mew says, how often do you get recognized in public? And that is for kind of now.
I don't know. I think I'm a bit in denial about that because
Hmm.
I don't like the feeling of being watched. I really like connecting with people one on one. So if I meet them in like a class or something, or I meet a lot of people at vegan events, or yeah, just somewhere where it's more personal, it like that's nice. But I find it really freaky when I'm just walking and there's somebody watching me and they're trying to figure out who I am. So I think I like have blinkers for that because otherwise I would be too paranoid and it would feel I'm definitely like I'm just sensitive, so I feel those energies, and so I
Yeah.
don't like that. But
See, I do it
I
as well. And I'm like, yes, yep,
yeah,
you know who I am. Yep, you know, like I almost like I look for it as opposed to
yeah,
kind of I'm blinkered to it. I'm like, oh, that's a group of young people and they might know about skins. I mean, this is probably a bit long further ago, but still, I just have that thing of like, oh, you're trying to work out how you know me.
and
And
isn't
actually, I've
it
got a
weird?
question. Hold on.
Yeah.
This it's for further down. But my dear friend Charlotte, who is a makeup artist, said she once ran away from Jal from Skin, so Larissa Hope, because she forgot where she recognized her from. And so she assumed it was someone who she went to college with,
Oh
and she'd
God.
forgotten her name. So she didn't want there to be an awkward conversation where she was like, hold on, who am I talking to? And her question to you is, have you ever been mistaken for somebody else? Where you've gone, oh, here we go. Here's a Potter fan, and then they think that you're someone else.
Yes. Yeah. Several people.
Oh,
There's
really?
Yeah, there's a bunch of like pale blonde actresses, and they just think we're all the same. I've been mistaken for who's that girl from The Walking Dead? Emily. I can't remember her surname, but
I don't
yeah, she.
watch it.
But we do look quite alike. So sometimes I've had that where people compliment me on that work. I also have a porn star doppelganger, and I'm always getting pictures.
Great.
So I don't get recognized for that, but I get people sending me pictures of this adult movie star, and I'm just like, this is still not me.
Have you ever had it where someone's photoshopped your head on somebody's body?
I don't want to look. I don't know.
Probably. I definitely have. People have said it to me like, this isn't you, right? I'm like, no.
That you know, I had one of those articles going around for a while. You know those mean articles? They're like, guess where this person is now, and it had that doppelganger.
Oh,
like
literally my life.
My voice acting teacher, who's like the most lovely, posh, sophisticated lady, was like, I'm just checking. She was like, I don't think this is you, but is it? Like, death. It was the most cringeworthy moment. I hate that some people are really brought in by that. And if that's somebody who I know personally, it's like, God, there's probably a lot of people who think that's me.
But it's so easy to access. Like, she may have been, completely innocently Googling something else, and then you've just got that, and you're like, oh God, that's my student.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not you. Sorry, I jumped forward a bit there.
Oh no, it's fine. Sorry.
So Zoe with 2 E's and 2 K's wants to know, when you do get recognised, do people kind of assume that you are Luna Lovegood?
A lot of the time. I think my voice is always such a giveaway. People always look at me, and then if I say hello or something, they're like, yes. So I think they get, but it's nice, people like Luna. I think they feel comfortable in that character's company. There's my sister. Hello. I don't know what she's doing.
My sister's here as well.
Well, so hi, sisters, and my brother. Hello. Yeah. What are they all doing? Freaks, go do your own life.
No, they're here. They're here. Don't tell your family to go away. They're fine.
Yeah, no, sorry.
They're allowed.
Nice to see you. Yeah, very cute. But no, that question. Sorry. Yeah, I get recognized for that, but I think also I do have, as I say, I don't love being just seen in public, and I don't want to be visible all the time. I also like to really watch people, and it's you can't do that when someone spots you. So I tend to I put my hair up. I always wear a hat. There's ways I think that you can. It's almost an energetic shift where you can just be like, now I'm going to be invisible. You can do things like that. So I don't know. Do you ever find that you can make a choice to turn it off? Maybe not, because you've got such fabulous hair, so maybe not you. But
well, I did. I actually, thank you, and I also straightened it for years because I mean, also let's not forget, I am trying to find common ground, but my experience is nowhere near as astronomical as yours. So yes, right when Skins was a big deal, it was definitely a different energy to now. But I do feel like as I got less and less sort of relevant, I guess, I found that I looked for it. I found that I was like, somebody needs to recognize who I am, because I'm losing that thing of being relevant and identifiable. And it's awful to admit, but it definitely was a period of time where I was like, hold on, I'm just going to go back to my curly hair and see if anyone recognizes me. I mean, awful, right? But it definitely
no.
There was a period of time.
That actor, you panic like, oh, it's because also if your career, if the high point is over, it's like, am I old? So
yeah. Also, they always say, you get one shot, or like your big break, and then you're like, what if my big break was when I was 17, and then nothing else ever gets to that point? And I think that's actually partly why this show has been so amazing for me, because I've been talking to so many people who've had the same experiences and have given me gems like, you're a creative person and it doesn't always have to be acting, right? So
yeah, it's
just like you say, an energy shift.
I think the industry has changed a lot since that mentality. I think that's like like it used to be about building stars and creating stars, and I just think because of social media and things like Netflix and stuff, like TV and film has got a lot more informal. It's not all about mystery and mystique. It's more about getting to know people and authenticity. So that whole thing of you have to create this kind of person or persona, I just think that's a bit old-fashioned, and I think people want to get to know you more, and they want more diversity. Like, that has been such a big shift in the industry, rather than it's just something I feel really is happening, that rather than these sort of demigods that we look up to, we want people we can relate to more. So I don't know, that gives me a lot of comfort to see that happening, and to see the industry that way. It's yeah, rather than you have to be this huge big deal and you have to, as I say, create a godlike persona. That pressure is off, and I don't think people want that anymore.
Also, I think I mean, I completely agree, and it's lovely to hear you say that, because also I think people are actually, certainly for me, I feel like they like me anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm a nice person and I talk about things that I'm, being honest about and truthful, then if you don't like me, then cool, and if you do, then you do. So actually and I suppose that's also something to do with, like, I guess social media, and also being a bit more transparent on there. And for you, with all of your amazing work that you're doing, it feels like people have got a little window into maybe your lifestyle, your life choices, things like that. So it's kind of more transparency about who you are as a person, and less kind of, here's me in a magazine and who I'm dating and all of that sort of thing.
Definitely. Yeah, which has its upsides and downsides. It's nice to feel like you're being more real and more relaxed, but it's also like you can overshare and then feel really exposed. I get a bit of anxiety about posting, doing too much, and just like, I don't know. I think a lot of us have had to learn what are the boundaries, and how do we, yes, it's just logging on, but it's logging on to the world. You're opening yourself up. So I think there's definitely pros and cons.
Definitely. Kezabel01, were you sad in the build-up of the Harry Potter experience coming to an end, and how did you deal with it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was sad. But I didn't really believe it was going to end. Kind of like school, where you're like, it'll always be there, because it was always there. And when you're a kid, you just don't think in blocks of like 5-10 years. You think in 2 years, maybe max. So, and I think we got a lot of questions from people being like, even like on the 6th film, when we had 2 more films to make, people were just like, well, are you going to be sad? And it's like, it got a question to me that we were just so tired of. So I almost wasn't prepared up until the very last day. And when it really hit me was when, after we finished filming, and I went into the producer's office to say goodbye, and it suddenly felt like, shunted out into the world, and I'm not ready, because that was where my journey with the film started. I went to their offices and met them, and then it kind of closed that way. So I was bereft for a while. Definitely.
Was it that kind of come down, when you do a theatre show, and it's obviously so much of your life, because it's every night and then it's every day and all of that, and you have that kind of immediate thing of like, sorry, what is my life now, a minute?
Yeah, I know. Everything comes crashing down, and all these people you have that closeness with, and you're kind of, it's a world is kind of ending or dying. Oh, it's sad. Theater is hard, but I love that. I love the family feeling it creates. But similarly, every time it ends, you're sad for a long time.
And so, to kind of lead on from that, B. Turner, how was being part of such an iconic moment how did it affect your personal life? Like, I always think, like, I try and remember it. Obviously, I have blocked out quite a lot of it, and actually needed to like ask my family and friends what happened in that really like early stage and how it affected me. But like for you, what was the kind of the post Potter to, I guess, now? How did that affect things that maybe we wouldn't have seen?
Good question. Big, complicated, layered question. I don't know how to definitively answer that, but you mean like how it changed me?
I guess, yeah.
I think it made me.
I mean, did you have to grow up really quickly? Like, did you feel like you were a young person and then suddenly you had to be quite adult and, make decisions? Because I definitely felt, for me, like suddenly I was a working person and I was part of, I felt really positively kind of like, I'm going to go and be an actor. And that for me was like, great. So I've made it. Cool. and I'm just going to wait for the phone to ring and everything's going to happen. And I think probably acted like a bit of an asshole for quite a while.
That's funny. Yeah, we all have those moments. No, I would say it was more positive, because I really wanted to be an actor. I really loved acting, but I was really shy and really introverted. And I didn't know how to break through that. I was like shy in a way that I didn't want to be. You know, some people are content just being shy and left alone, but I really wanted to find a way to break through it. And I think without the Harry Potter experience, I don't know if I would have been forced to do that as quickly. Because I was like, you know, I'm from deep countryside. There are no buses. We have our siblings and our pets, and that's about it. You know, so it was just like, to be on set and to be working with, incredible actors who are not going to coddle you. They're going to be like, how are you? And you can't give one word answers. You have to like learn to talk about yourself and figure out who you are, really. So I think that was a really positive thing, and I really needed that. I needed to be pushed out of my comfort zone and to figure out who I was and what I wanted. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, I definitely had that thing that you described afterwards, like of when the films ended, of just being like, well, isn't somebody going to tell me what to do now? You know, and realizing that, oh no, you have to figure out, you're out of the system now. You're out of like, or not the system, but yeah, out of the school system and out of the little family feeling that was Harry Potter. And yeah, you have to decide what you want to do, how you want to spend your days. So yeah, that was a adjustment. Took a long time to sort of answer those questions. I feel like I still am answering those questions.
Okay, I was just going to say, have you found the answers? Because I know I haven't. I know it's been a long time, and I'm like, so hold on, what? Maybe I'll do a podcast.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm figuring out every day. Like, yeah, I have a podcast too, and I love it. But I'm sometimes like, how do you balance this with life? And like, how do you juggle all the projects? And which is the one that is really the one you're meant to do, or the one that's calling you? So, I definitely feel like I'm more grounded now as an adult, and the last few years, I don't think I'd be as easily kind of derailed by a big thing like Harry Potter. Not that I was derailed, but I don't think I'd be as easily just swept away. I think I'd be able to keep my center and just know what my everyday truth is without these big exciting things. So yeah.
I feel the same.
Do you? That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that comes with time. You can't.
I hope you don't mind me saying like, yes, me too, because I understand that our experiences are very different, but I do feel like there is that sort of like, we went to the same school of learning how to do something really young, and then now we're here. Yeah. Maybe.
No, and I think you're underselling yourself there a bit, because you had a very visible, huge project that defined a point in your life, and in some ways defines a lot of it. So I get
Thanks. True. I know, it's just that thing of being, you know, I guess thinking that about yourself. It's so easy for me to think it of you and not so much of myself. Ooh, exposing. Let's move on. So Emma Paulson 96 wants to know, what was your favorite role post Harry Potter?
Oh, great question. I suppose, no, I have two, I think. I loved My Name is Emily, which I did with our lovely friend George Webster. That was just such a special project. It was one of those things, it was just like everything fell into place. A friend of mine was reading for the role, and she was like, this is for you. And I read it and I just fell in love, and I fought really hard to get that role. And it was such a beautiful experience from start to finish. And I feel a bit, looking back, I think I got a little bit overwhelmed because it was like my first time doing a lead role, and it was a big movie. Well, it wasn't a big movie. It was an independent movie, but it felt like it was a very special story because of the director. He had his journey, he had MND, and he had to battle with that as he was making the movie. So I think I felt like, cannot mess this up. So sometimes I look back on that, I'm like, oh, I wish I was a bit more chill. But it was very special, and I just loved the character. And I loved doing the play Disco Pigs. That was just So
I
much
knew
fun.
you were gonna say that. I was gonna say, I think if I had to answer that for you, just because you look like you're having the absolute time of your life.
On the play, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Have you seen the play? It's a really cool, weird play. You're in a world for a few months. It's very strange. Yeah, you should see it. It's odd
Okay.
play. Not everyone loved it. There was a lot of swearing in it, and and we warned people. We're like 13 and up, but sometimes Harry Potter fans, like kids, would come to it, and it was like the audience were around on all sides, and the character was very like brash and tough. I mean, she was not really tough, but she acted tough. And there was a
Right.
lot of points where it's like I had to just swear at people in the audience, and it was like, oh, I'm breaking people's hearts here. But it was fun for me to do that. I tend to like more bold characters who are just really outspoken and more confident than I am, because I think I'm always like, oh, I want what you have. And same with Emily. She was like, spoke her mind. She was really weird, but she was accepting of it, and I'm always looking for that same acceptance, I think, in myself. And so I like those characters. Those two would be standouts. Yeah.
Great. Mally Catstrike, nice name, wants to know, I want to hear more about your experience on Dancing with the Stars. And so do I. So many of my guests have either done Strictly Come Dancing or Dancing with the Stars. And I'm so jealous because I want to do those shows.
Yeah.
You're like, oh God, calm down, calm down. Yeah, it says, she says that it really looked like you were having a ball and you are incredible at dancing. Did you come third?
I came third. Yeah.
That's so good.
That was so fun. Oh my God, it was the best. I wish that was my job, actually. Screw everything else. Screw everything else that has meaning. No, like that.
So many people say that. Is it what is it? Is it the dancing? Is it the dressing up? Is it the family, the team? What is it?
It's everything, and it's such a dream come true, really, because like, when are you ever going to have another time in your life where a world-class professional is going to focus their immense talent and just time on you and say, I'm going to make you good at this? Like, in anything, I would just love to just keep learning things that way. And I'd always loved dance. That was part of my story. Like, I tried to be a dancer. I wanted to be a dancer rather than an actor. So when that came along, it was just like, oh my God, this champion ballroom dancer just has to deal with me for the next few weeks. And we're going to be on TV, so it has to look good. It's just so fun. And it's such a special opportunity to get to focus on any one thing that much. And yeah, it's fabulous. I really hope you get to be on it.
Thanks. I don't know how, but one day I will be there. My husband always says that we should do it together as like so we're against each other. And I was like, well, we both need to be recognizable for that. He's like, I'll beat you. He really thinks that he's a great dancer, but I think I would win. I'd like to do it just to see who would win.
Yeah, I'd love to do, because I remember on the show, so one thing was like, you spend every waking minute basically with your partner, and they have to teach you how to do things. And ballroom is very like traditional. It's very traditional, male, female, whatever cultural norms. And I sometimes was like, I want to just be around the girls, because the girls were so fabulous and so confident, and I just would like wanted to be around that kind of, that confidence, that sassiness. And we had a team dance once and I got to experience it, but I would love to do, and I know they did it on Strictly this year with a girl pairing. I think that would be cool, just to shake up. I love that they're doing that, to shake up the ballroom dancing world a bit and just challenge those norms, and also just be so fun.
I actually saw Nicola was interviewed once, and they, I'm sure has had to answer the question of like, why are you dancing with another girl? And her response was just so cool. She was like, I don't really get the problem. It's just two girls dancing.
Yeah.
Literally like mic drop. Like, what can you say? It's
Why
two
not?
girls dancing. I obviously I get that there's like this tradition of dance, but right now it's like, we're in 2020. It's two girls dancing.
Exactly.
Let's get over it and move on.
The question should really be like, why have we not? Why has it been so like heteronormative for years? And what are we afraid of? So, good on
You're
Strictly.
right. The girls always look so good. They look just like they're having the best time ever, and they are so confident. And I'll get there. Don't you worry, Evanna.
It would be about that partnership, that friendship, because people annoyingly, like people on the show, when it's a boy girl thing, they always want to be like, they always want to ship you or ask too many personal questions. And it's like, what about friendship? Why don't we celebrate dancing and friendship? I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, I hope they do more of that.
Yeah, me too. So in your introduction, your lengthy introduction, I talked about how busy you are, and the fact that you decided to set up two empires in two of the most saturated markets out there, beauty and podcasting. And so I just kind of wanted to know a bit about that decision and about kind of what led you to that. It seems to be quite a shift. It seems to be something that's really, really personal and close to you and that you are very passionate about. And obviously you have said that you get asked about it quite a lot, but still, I'd like to know, and I guess, do you find that line of work as rewarding, more rewarding, or does it give you the same buzz that acting does?
Yeah, podcasting and Kinder Beauty, all that stuff, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, yeah. So no, for one, nothing will give me the same buzz that acting does, and I think because it's so exciting getting to work with artists one-on-one and tell stories. I think that will always be my number one love. And it's almost it's indulgent for me when I do plays and things. It's like it's feeding my soul, but I don't know, is it changing the world? Maybe it's opening people's mind, I don't know, but it is more nourishing, I suppose. Whereas I think Chick Peeps and my vegan activism is just like, I'm really upset about what happens to animals all the time. When I think about it, I'm just angry about it, or heartbroken. I veer between the two, and the only way I deal with that, those emotions, is to do something active and positive. Because if I didn't, I'd just be sitting there outraged and judgmental of people. And working on the problem of like how to talk about veganism, how to share just a more ethical lifestyle, it makes me understand why it's hard for some people. It makes me more patient, and it's really fulfilling to kind of help people and support them on that journey. So yeah, so I like doing the podcast for that reason, but I also would like to live in a world where we didn't have to do this activism, where animals weren't factory farmed and exploited and abused. I would like to just be on stage, you know, prancing around in, I don't know, just someone else's world in their life. But yeah, I feel really grateful. The vegan community is amazing, really inspires me, and I just value the role of animals in my life. That relationship with animals has always been so unique. And I don't think you need to love animals to be vegan or any of those things. I think it's more just about equality. But yeah, I'm really, as much as I say I don't want to just be doing this work full time, I'm sorry, I might need to plug my charger. I'm grateful to be part of the movement and really inspired by all the activists I'm around. Yeah, sorry, I'm plugging my phone, but I'm still listening.
No, that's okay. I've got my phone plugged in too. I feel like my sister would kill me if I didn't ask you about Puff.
Oh, Puff! Do you want to see her? She's right here.
So much.
Hang on, sorry.
So much. Josie, get ready for this cat. Okay.
She sits in a box. She sits in a box.
Oh my God, I saw that in your dressing room. Oh my God. Hi, Puff.
Yeah, so that's just how she does.
Oh my God, look at her little ears.
Cats they just love to feel safe. They just love.
Look, there's my sister, Josie. Oh my God, I told you. She's, and my mum, look. They are definitely kindred cat ladies, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. Cats are just she's been so great in lockdown, because it is boring all day just when you're working at your desk, and I'm writing a lot at the moment, and just having this little friend here, just being quiet and calm, it's a huge comfort. Yeah.
What is it with cats and boxes? Oh my God, you know the answer?
I think
you literally, you're like, well, let me just consult my cat knowledge.
No, I think it's that. I think I actually feel this myself. I think it's an introvert thing. I don't know if all cats are introverts, but I read in a book, what was it called? It was Quiet, that book about introverts. That introverts often go for the seat in the corner. They don't like being at like desks where there's all people and energy behind, because they're so sensitive. And I think cats have a similar thing. I once brought her to one of my rehearsals, Disco Pigs rehearsal, and the room was massive, and she couldn't cope. Like it, and she is a very loving, comfortable cat. Like she likes exploring, but when the room was so big, she just hid in this little box. We had a TV prop, and she just hid there the whole time. She was miserable. So I think it's that. I think they're too sensitive. I think they feel everything, and so a box makes them feel like, oh, I know myself and my world. So that's as good an answer as I can give. From watching her for a long time.
Definitely. I mean, my mum's just said, hold on, going back to it. Also, cats sitting in a square space made of a rope on the floor. So even if it's not a box with walls, they'll find the kind of enclosed space and sit in it.
That's just because they're fancy. They're like, I'm not sitting on the floor.
I think so. Yeah, this space is a bit more fancy than that part of the floor, so I'll sit here.
Yeah.
So cheesy_rat23, not a particularly vegan name, but has asked, could you share your experience with veganism and just how you started? And also, what's your favorite vegan dish?
Oh yeah. By the way, Cheesy Rat, that could be a vegan name. Don't know. We're allowed
True.
to use those
too. True.
Although apparently the European Union just banned that. They were like, vegans not allowed to use those words anymore because it's appropriation of a term, which is like, they're saying it's dishonest marketing, but it's like, I'm sorry, do you put pictures of like slaughtered bleeding cows on your cheese or your meat? I don't think so. Anyway, that's another thing. What was the question? Oh, when did I start veganism?
Yes.
About like 7 years ago. So I was already vegetarian, went vegetarian when I was young. Just instinctively felt like I shouldn't be eating meat, and I didn't like going down the meat aisle. It was just a sensitivity thing. And then I think I just really cared about those animal rights causes, and I kept sharing them, and people kept being like, so are you vegan? So why are you not vegan? And I was like, oh, I should really read about this, even though I think that vegans are annoying, and even though I don't really want to be one. I was like, I'll just explore, I'll look at it. And so I read this book called Eating Animals, and it broke my heart. It really it blew my mind a bit, because it was just like, I agree with everything in here, and this is so upsetting. And the thing with the book, and things like horror movies, things that are ugly, you get to close them and walk away. And I closed this book, and I was like, that's happening all over the world right now. And it was just like, I couldn't leave it, and it wasn't, the horror is still ongoing. And as I kind of said earlier, the only way to really deal with that and manage it is to just be like, gotta do something. So that's when I first decided to go vegan. But I found it quite difficult to make the transition, because I loved chocolate and ice cream. And it took me a while.
Even 7 years ago, there were so few options. Now, I mean, the options are plentiful and getting more so.
Yeah, there were definitely less. Yeah. But like, I know people who've been vegan for 30 years, and it's like, how do you survive? I don't think I could have done that. So we're really spoiled, and it's getting better every day.
So what is your favorite vegan dish?
Oh, I have pretty basic tastes. I quite like a pesto pasta.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I made one the other day with some Italians on Zoom. That was really exciting. My friends were like, we need to do something extra in lockdown. And my friend Caddy found these two Italian chefs, and they were in where were they? Oh God, Sorrento. They were in Sorrento, and they were on Zoom, and they were like, let's make, it was gnocchi. Like,
ooh,
the
fancy.
little, it was really good. That's actually, cool. The proper way is kind of fancy. It's not that simple. So, so Neve Williams 142, what tips would you give to someone who's trying to be a vegan?
Oh yeah, okay, I have so many tips. I love this question. First, I would tell you this method that was taught to me by a friend called Eric Marcus, who runs vegan.com. He's so great, and he told me about this method called the crowding out method, because a lot of people think of veganism as, they define it by what you don't eat, what you can't eat, and that is like a meat eater's way of looking at it. And you have to change your mindset around it to think of like what you can eat, because yes, you're going to be not eating a lot of foods that you ate before, but there's tons of food you haven't even tried. It's just like a new culture, you have to adapt and just look at things differently. And I think before I found out this method, I did just try and give everything up. And I felt I couldn't stop thinking about all the things I wasn't eating and the restrictions, and I felt really miserable. I felt angry at vegans. I was like, why are you making me do this? You know, I was just like pissed off. But then he basically, and so I quit a few times. I really had a lot of lapses. And then he said to me, he was like, don't give anything up. And I was already vegetarian, so I wasn't eating meat. But he said, don't give anything up. Just start adding in new vegan options. So you like vegan chocolate. So try a new vegan chocolate. No, you like chocolate. Try a new vegan chocolate every day. And just rather than, you know, trying one plant milk, finding it disgusting and wanting to quit, it's just like before you lose those things from your diet, you add in the vegan options and your taste buds do adapt. They really do. That is like, there's got to be some science to it, because it tastes weird at first, but you get used to it. And he was right that like the more I added in new vegan products, the less I needed the animal products. And just after a while, I was like, one by one, I was able to just, they fell out of my diet. And then I didn't feel like I was lacking something. It felt like a choice of, I want to eat this way. And it wasn't like I can't eat that. It was, I won't eat that. You know, it was from a willing place. So I would say that is a really, cardiac method is the best method I can advocate, and I would say do it gradually.
Sounds amazing. Yeah,
and
I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah, people don't, because we don't live in a vegan society, but it's just a much healthier way. And I would say be really kind to yourself, because for me, I was in my early 20s. I was undoing, 2 decades worth of conditioning and of habits, and that takes a while. So just be patient with yourself and do that method. And I would also say, keep educating yourself on the reasons to be vegan. The more that, like, you shouldn't do it out of a sense of obligation or shouldness. You should go vegan. I'm saying should, I don't like that word, but go vegan out of, because you really feel you want to. And I just found the more I read books like Eating Animals, watched documentaries like Earthlings, Cowspiracy, the more it was just like, I don't see it as food anymore, and I don't feel sad about giving these things up. I feel excited about my vegan life. So those would be my tips. Really focus on abundance and do it gradually, and just have patience with yourself and keep going.
Thank you. Yeah. That's amazing. Really, really good tips. So I think we're going to kind of just finish the last 10 minutes with some Harry Potter stuff, if that's okay.
Great. Yeah.
I'm sure that you've been asked most of these questions multiple times, so apologies for that. But I think one of the things that was weird, actually, when I announced you as a guest, was how many people were like, this collab, this like crossover is something we've all been waiting for, like a Skins Harry Potter mashup. I was just like, so what? Funny. This is crazy. I mean, these questions would be a lot easier these few would be a lot easier if you have seen Skins. Have you seen it? Okay,
yeah, I feel really bad. I should have. I'm sorry, but I haven't watched all of them. Okay, I'm so sorry. But you know why? Okay. It was because I felt I did watch a few episodes, and it made me feel so uncool, because I was like, I don't want to party. I don't want to do drugs or drink. I just want to read books. So I would watch and be like, I am not a cool teenager, and it made me feel bad about not being a rebel or to have so many issues,
Oh God, I'm so sorry about that, because I was not cool and I was in it.
Sorry, I don't mean like, that's not a criticism of the show. It was just, I was a certain type of bookish teenager that I found.
Please don't be apologizing to me about who you are as a person. Oh God, it was only that people just want to know if you'd watch Skins, and if you had, which character would you want to be? And then someone would write that and they'd be like, guys, it's obvious she's a Cassie.
Oh, I've heard the Cassie and Luna comparison a lot.
Yeah, actually. I think it's a big thing. People like, they think that's a real crossover.
I think people often say that, like, if she was in the Muggle world, that would, I think that's a thing.
Yeah, I think it is a thing. Yeah. Okay, so Elsa, what?
Well, who would I would want to know, like, would you be your character or would you be someone else?
In Harry Potter?
No, in Skins.
Oh, I was going to say, it's pretty obvious who I would be in Harry Potter. I mean, I literally look like Emma Watson half of the time. Like, my hair is, although I don't like the word frizzy because I feel like
No,
that's
your
bad.
hair's
I
great.
use the word textured. So I think any textured
Textured,
haired
yeah.
girl reading Harry Potter would be like, I'm obviously Hermione Granger, and it's okay, and I'm bookish, and I'm clever,
Mm.
and I know the answer. So can't remember any of the spells. That would have been really cool if I could have done like a spell just off the bat then. Would I have been my character? Ooh, if I was being myself, God, really, really good question. I probably would have been a Jal because she was like clever and I'm so clever. No, I enjoyed learning and reading and was the sensible one, I think. I don't know. I don't know what I would have been like without skins. Skins definitely made me cooler.
Oh, right. Yeah, good.
To people, not in my own
Okay.
life.
But secretly.
Secretly, yeah. So Elsa D. Jurhaus, how was it going from being a Harry Potter fan? Because presumably you knew about Harry Potter before you were in it. So, and then suddenly turning up and being in it must have been crazy.
Yes, it was. I couldn't talk to the other cast like normally at first because I had my like room just papered with their faces. So it was just really
Wow,
like
super
it was
fan.
just a super fan, super fan. Like it wasn't healthy. I think it was just like technically like it was I wasn't used to them talking back to me. That's a really weird way to say it, but like Daniel Radcliffe, he
No.
would just talk to me and I would just like stare at him and you know, just look at his face. And I didn't know how to have a conversation. But I think so. I think it kind of added to. I think kind of helped with the Luna portrayal because I did have this spacey vibe, and I was like, and I always think this about myself. I'm quite a slow thinker. It takes me. I find conversations difficult actually, especially on podcasts and this kind of thing because it's really hard to fully listen to the person. It's okay because you're asking me the questions, you're making it easy. But to fully listen to the person, it doesn't really work in normal conversation because people want quick answers and people will talk over you. So I almost think how me being slow around them and me being in awe of them, it helped our relationship for the movies a little bit. But yeah, I was totally overwhelmed. I was so in awe of them and I didn't feel comfortable for a long time, but it was a joy, and it wasn't anything. They were so welcoming and nice to me, but yeah, it was weird because I joined halfway and they were already, movie stars, and I was just like, what the hell am I doing here?
Did it feel
Like,
small? I always think like whenever I meet people that I idolize, I always imagine them to be like huge stars because that's how I've kind of built them up in my head. Did you get to the set and you were like, oh wait, there's no wall there, and like, oh hold on, everything's a bit smaller than I was expecting? I don't know.
yeah, like the sets
Or was
were
it just
just all
vast?
the sets were all over the place. Like they lived in a big studio, and everything was just kind of a bit higgledy-piggledy, and there were bits of old sets that were just thrown around and jumbled up. So yeah, that was confusing. I was just more surprised by like for some people it's just their job. I think as fans you build it up as like
Totally.
that is the dream. That is like just where everyone is so happy to be there and so grateful. And some people just hadn't even read the books. And I was scandalized. I was like, how can you be working on Harry Potter and not read the books? But yeah, some people it was just their job. And that was fun.
Yeah. Sarah K.S. Wolstenholme wants to know, did you keep anything from the set?
Yeah, not the things you would think, like not props. I kept every single call sheet, which
Wow.
is actors.
That must be a tome.
Yeah, it's big shoe boxes. I just love
Wow.
it. But the call sheets for non-actors is basically the schedule of the entire day. And you can imagine on the Harry Potter films, it was exciting. And they're precious to me because it tells you exactly what day, what people were in. And you could see also what was happening on future days. And there'd be things like talking about goblin makeup and tests for certain scenes. So yeah, call sheets for me, they're an important historical artifact. And
I suppose also
they
they were printed.
Yeah.
Whereas now so often they're emailed to you.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Sometimes they print them still.
True. true. But back in
Yeah.
the day, it would be delivered to you by hand at the beginning of the day or at
Yeah.
the end of the last
You have
day,
to
and
get
you'd
your
have
side.
something to keep.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah,
carry
that's
on.
true. They don't do that anymore. No, you're right. They still do sides, but yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway,
No,
good
you
old
were going to say
days.
something else. Call sheets and something else.
And I also got phoenix feathers from Fox. Yeah, which I don't know if they're vegan. They're probably not, but anyway, I wasn't vegan at the time, but they were very cool. Fox, the model of him. I went to the costume creature facts and I was like, can I have phoenix feathers? Because that's such a magical thing. That's what goes in
Amazing.
the wands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. So Lara Borman says, my nephew, Alfie, who's 9 years old, wants to know who you got on best with on set.
Oh, probably Katie Leung, who plays Cho Chang. She's just one of the coolest people. She's the best. And she had a similar experience to me. She was cast in an open casting, so she was really nice to me, even though like I was such a weirdo. Like I was sort of fan of her as well. She was really nice to me, and we're still really, really good friends. And Scarlett Byrne, who plays Pansy Parkinson. Those two we were really close. And then others we've gotten closer even since the films. Like I talked to Bonnie quite a lot. She came on my podcast, and yeah, I think just because we have this shared experience, we've bonded a lot since then over that. Yeah.
Yeah. Amy with an X, Ximesld. Oh God, I've really screwed this up. Ximeesld. Tricky. Wants to know what is it that you admire most about Luna?
Oh, a lovely question. I admire her so many things. Her absolute, I think, presence in every moment. Like that was a big feature of her character, that she doesn't worry. She doesn't think about the future or get depressed about the past for the most part. And even like, yeah, as I say, it was a feature of her character that other students would be like, Voldemort's coming, like stressing out about big things. And Luna would, David Yates would be like, I think Luna's finding that cloud really fascinating. And I just like that she's so present. She's so, not influenced by everything going on around her. And her total self-acceptance, which is something I struggle with, and everyone I think struggles with. I think she just has that's what's really special about her. And I feel like I call upon that energy when I need it, when I'm in places where, like auditions, where I'm really nervous, or if I'm interviewing someone on the podcast who I'm nervous about, I definitely try and tap into that energy of like that Luna peace, at ease, not questioning where you are, just accepting you belong and you've a right to be here purely because you are. That was so beautiful in her, and that's something I always admired.
Wow. I mean, I'd love to carry on talking, but it feels like that's a really nice way to wrap up our interview, and actually something that I feel like, you do exude that as Evanna as well.
That's
I do
nice.
feel, yeah,
Thanks.
I feel comfortable around you. I feel like your energy is really, like, you're present, you're attentive, you're giving me attention, and I think that's something that maybe you've channeled without even knowing.
Oh, that's really nice. Well, I do go to therapy, so I think I'm aware of this. I'm always working on that. I try to, but I have so many moments like in the podcast where I'm just like, why did I say that? I was performing, or I was feeling like I wasn't cool, or that I needed to make a joke, and that's when you end up making a fool of yourself. So yeah, it's a work.
At least in the podcast you can edit it out. I'm always like, damn it, this is live.
This is so brave. This is why I don't do this. Yeah, it's really impressive. But it's great. It's a great skill to have here. Yeah.
Thanks, Evanna. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here and answering the questions. I know that it's been a real thrill, not for me, but not just for me, but for all of the people that are following. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on. It was lovely. Thanks for inviting me. And I love what you're doing. You get such interesting guests. So
yes, I do, clearly. Thank you so much, Evanna. Have a good rest of your evening. I'm going to exit you now.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, love.
Bye.
There she goes. Gosh, I wanted to ask her one final question, actually, which was, do you believe in magic? Anyway, I can ask her another time. Guys, there it was, Evanna Lynch for you. What an amazing, brilliant woman. Just so inspiring, and I'm so thrilled that she came and gave us her time. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a share once I post it on my page. It helps other people find what we're doing here in our lovely Monday evening family. Next week, I have an absolute winner. So keep an eye on my account on Friday and I will announce it then. Have a good week, everyone. Stay safe, look after each other. I hope you've enjoyed being part of this on Monday night. And I'll see you on Monday.